All right, welcome back to Rick's Radio Conversions. Today we have a very unique radio. It's from Steven. He has a 1978 Ford Mustang II, and this was FM AM cassette tape. And Steven also, this is his second radio. He also was the one we just did the 53 Chevy 6-volt conversion with. We also had a BTU conversion to that, and this one has been converted to AM, FM, aux input, USB, Bluetooth, and yes, the cassette player works as well. So we're going to go through all those modes. We kind of already went through the FM and AM. We kept the stereo lock light right there. And the unique thing about the stereo lock light, we'll go down here somewhere. There we go. So we're going to demonstrate the tuner function, and we'll see it'll scan digitally across the dial. Grab the tuner, 12 to 2. And as you can see here, we're yellow, and this should flash at us. So now this is going to flash and scan. Now if you notice, as it's scanning across, the stereo lock light is staying lit to the strongest stations. So let's say that's the station you want. You can grab your tuner, 12 to 2 once. And then this guy will flash and then stop. So now we're over here somewhere. I think that's where we were. That's where we were listening to a minute ago. As you can see, the presets all work. And so that's the scan function, pretty cool. Some other functions, treble, works as it did. This is your fader, rears, fronts. I don't know how easy that is to see. Or here rather. So now we're going to go over the aux input. So this has the voice operated switch. So we've got the CD player back here. That's a CD player, and we'll let it potato out. As you can see, the green light, that's for the aux input, and that'll do its thing for about 10 seconds. You can turn this off and then on again, and then go right back to whatever radio band you're in. So there we go, FM. And I don't know if I showed AM has got the red LED. So those are those two modes. And now we'll do the USB. You've got a little dongle in the back here. You take your USB stick. And this is orange. The fluorescent light looks a little different. So if you want to fast forward, you want to rewind. And that's how the USB plays. Now we're going to pull out our USB stick. Back to radio. Okay, now we're going to pair the phone. So over here we've got our Bluetooth already set up. And what we're going to do is grab volume and go 12 to 2 twice.
Bluetooth ready to pair.
So you heard her say ready to pair. Bluetooth has come up here.
Pairing completed. Bluetooth connected.
And now we're connected. So there's a few things we can do. So now we're streaming, fast forwarding, skips a song, and now there's a couple of things we can do here with the Bluetooth that we're going to demonstrate as well tonight. So we'll turn off the music for a second, get rid of all that junk. So we can do things like, hey Siri, play car music.
Here are matches for Blue Ocean, our Blue Planet, Blue Jasmine, Blue Valentine, Blue Ruin, Blue Blood. Do you want to hear the next 5?
No. So I think the radio might have spit something out. Let's do this again. So there's the radio.
Because of my training and my experience
Hey Siri,
as a defense attorney, but by
play car music. There we go.
Playlist car music now playing.
And there goes. That's how you can do it voice activated. Now if you want to stop this and pause it to go back to the radio without touching anything, 12 to 10. You can kind of see it shrunk in like that, and then it's going to wait about 10 seconds and then go back to the radio. And when we always let everything burn in the first time, you can turn off and on, turn off and on again, and you would go back. Okay, so now we've done every mode but the cassette, and it's always important to use new cassette tapes if you can find them. I use this clear one to show folks the pressure pad right here. So the cap stand will press against the tape, press against the pressure pad, and then you can almost see below that is a piece of copper, which is an actual spring, to make sure that everything kind of moves fluidly in there so that it'll pull the tape across. And we're going to pop her in there. So that's the cassette playing now. and we'll go across another song. So some other things will do. The reverse and fast forward still work as it did before. And we'll do some reversing. All right. Now just know, Stephen, when you're playing the cassette, so this is magnetic media like anything else. So the fidelity is not the same as the digital radio, the Bluetooth, CD player, and even the USB stick, which means there's a higher decibel loss playing the cassette than there is the radio, and I'll show you in a second. It's important that when you eject the tape, you bring your volume down, because you're going to be at whatever high level you were, and when that happens, the radio will be loud. So to eject, you press in the volume. See how much louder that is? Even though this tuner is analog, the receiver itself is digital, so the signal is a very, very, very low coming in to get processed, and then getting put out, the amplification goes very high. Whereas the magnetic media, you have all kinds of loss with this, the magnetic tape head, even going through the preamp that's especially built for this. So those are the things for that. Two other things that were on the main board of the actual radio that we could not duplicate. When you're reversing or fast forwarding, if you get to the end, it will stop and then eject the tape. So if you're going to reverse it, you stick it back in. Fast forwarding, yeah, just flip it around and stick it back in. I couldn't find any literature in the schematics to try and duplicate that. It would have been too much of a burden to build another board. It might not even fit in there, to be quite honest with you, because there's a lot of room gone with the tuner and a cassette player and all that stuff, as you can imagine. So that's kind of it. Like I say, it was a really neat build. We thank you for your patience, Stephen. I know we've had the radios for a while, but I think in the end, you're going to like what you get. Hopefully this video gives you a little bit of an idea of how to use everything. So we're going to pan up here to the view meters. Let's see, maybe we just do it like this. So as we're looking at the view meters, you can kind of see the rear there. Fronts, both. There you go. So the problem with these older fader controls, they're super high impedance, not good for the Aurora board. So we designed a little circuitry in there to make it work. It's not true front and rear. There is some very, very minor bleed over from front to rear. Some of that power has to get passed through, otherwise it'll damage the board. So just kind of know that if you ever do the fader, yeah, there's a little bit of sound, yeah, and there is. The balance is virtual through the tone. But other than that, that's it. It was a good build. Radio was really, really neat, very clean inside. So a couple things about this, and it'll be labeled for you, but so this is your USB dongle. You actually have two power leads, one for the cassette, one for the radio. They'll be labeled so that you know which ones go where. It's important, you can put those to the same circuit in the end. One of the things we do here is we design these that after a zillion hours, if the cassette fails for any reason, the aux input will still work for a CD player or something like that. And if it's a power problem, it's totally isolated from the radio. So, you know, the belt breaks, whatever could happen. You wear the tape head out. 9,000 things could happen, but it's isolated from the actual radio that this will play on for forever. So that's one of the things that we do for that. And I think that's about it. Stephen, we appreciate all of your business and most importantly, your patience to get this done. First and only cassette player we've done in an actual customer radio. We've done some testing with our own stuff here and kind of figured how to make it work, and lo and behold, here you go. Not much different really than an 8-track cassette player. Basis is very much similar, so it was not that hard to design all the stuff. It just took quite a while to figure it all out. So without that, we'll sign off for now. And if you want your radio converted to AM, FM, aux input, Bluetooth, USB, and yes, even cassette tape, contact Rick's Radio Conversions at 757-716-9305. You can find us at ricksradioconversions.com and on Facebook. That's it for now. Bye.